We're just about there. Hey, just so you know, after everything we've been through, you're family now. Don't say that. That's the talk of a dead man. I don't know if I'm gonna make it. You will. We're gonna see what's at the end of this dungeon. Yeah, that sounds nice. After hours of walking, investigating every nook and cranny for precious traps, disarming loot, and fighting a creature that's a cross between a bodak and a lich that I finally named Billy. Phew. So now, with Warrenario on death's door, Marinario, you see this first, and then Yonoshi, and finally Warrenario. Through this final door, you see that the ground is finally paved. Tile depicting queens and kings in years long past. Wow, walls are decorated with thick blue velvet curtains that frame around enormous murals depicting cities with golden streets and walls beset with jewels. It's beautiful. These murals overlook magnificent pieces of furniture, elegant, pristine vases, statues of legendary figures, heroes, philosophers, philanthropists, great chickens. But all these depictions and objects hold no candle to what sits in the center of the room. Atop a shrine of marbles. Oh, it's 11:01. Sorry, that's all the time we've got. We'll pick it up from here next time. Thanks for playing, guys. Hey! No, come on! Hey y'all, I'm Matt, and today we're going to be talking about tension, how to build it, how to keep it, and some pitfalls to avoid. First off, certainty is the enemy of tension. If you're sure of something, then we can relax. The tension is gone. Now, feeling certain of something is very different from actual certainty. I rolled a 24 on perception. There's no danger here. Great, let's set up camp. Is quite different from I rolled a 24 on perception. Well, you don't seem to notice anything here. Maybe we should set up a watch. Now, you can create uncertainty in many different ways, which I suggest to you to string together in a series, because tension builds with every line. We can build it with tone. You enter the house. With your perception checks, everything seems fine. With prompts. Hey, what's everyone's passive perception again? 9. Why? Oh, just checking. With half answers, do we see anyone? In the shadows, you see what for a moment look like figures, scowling at you, staring at you, standing at least 10 feet tall. And then the lightning flashes outside, and thunder booms, and you see that it was just a tall, dark curtain against the window. With whole answers based on their rolls, I rolled a 6 for perception. You hear what sounds like voices coming from beyond the closed door to the right. It's actually the wind, or even with the truth, in spite of their low rolls. I rolled a 6 for perception. You hear what sounds like voices coming from behind the closed door to the left. It's actually voices. As you can see, there are many ways to build uncertainty in your players. It doesn't even have to be horror-oriented. Let's do the same thing, but with something a little closer to the heart. So again, feeling certain and actual certainty are very different. For example, I rolled a 24 on insight. She's interested in you. Great, let's start talking. Is very different from rolled a 24 on insight. She smiles at you, but you're not quite sure. Maybe I need to tread carefully. Tone, so you say that, and she smiles and nods. With prompts. What's your passive insight again? 9. Why? Just checking. Half answers. Does it seem like she's interested in anyone else at the party? She smiles slightly past you, and in the corner of your eye you see what looks like a figure scowling at you, looming over you. And it's just then that you realize that you're being spoken to. It's the host, who's just walked by to make sure that everything's okay. Whole answers, based on rolls. I rolled a 6 for perception. You think you see her frown in the corner of your eye. It's a frown at the little bit of wine she spilled on her dress, or even with the truth, in spite of their low rolls. I rolled a 6 for perception. You think you see her frown in the corner of your eye. She's actually frowning because of you. When you have uncertainty, you have tension, and as you build uncertainty from moment to moment, you continue to build tension. But how do we keep it? First off, don't lie. Everything that I just gave you hinged on things that weren't blatantly false. Wording is very important here. Words like seem, or phrases like you think you see, you hear what sounds like, are powerful here. If you in a situation said, you see owls, then you've given certainty. But you could instead say, you see small, shadowy figures that resemble owls. And then you've got uncertainty, and you've got tension. When it's clear cut, we remove the uncertainty, we remove the tension. Now this is made even worse if you lied with a clear cut response. If you said, you see owls, and then later on say, those weren't actually owls, those were a bus, then your players don't trust your word anymore. Not only that, the anger of being lied to will override any sort of immersion that you've built. So make good use of phrases that suggest something so that you're not lying and betraying the trust of your players. Next, have patience. You're the DM. You know the truth. You know the answer. You know what's actually there when they see those small shadowy figures that resemble owls. Until the players actually uncover this, you have to hold that secret in. I know, it's exciting to have something cool in place, but if you let it slip, then the magic's gone. Even if a player asks you, takes a guess at something, whether they're completely wrong or completely right, you have to keep that in. You still don't give it up until they get there. They could be chomping at the bit, but, well, that's what you wanted, right? But all of these depictions and objects hold no candle to what sits in the center of the room. Atop a shrine of marbles, a gold pedestal holds. I can finally die in peace. Take care.